Today we are going to discuss and settle the discussion once for all in what cases exactly we should use a funnel and in what cases we should use a landing page. After working with hundreds of businesses and testing the exact same thing for dozens of businesses, I'm going to give you the exact decision framework which I personally use and suggest to the clients when they are in this dilemma. The first thing I want you to understand is whether using a funnel or landing page is not a marketing decision. It's a user readiness decision actually. Funnels and landing pages are not two different strategies. They serve the exact same purpose. And it's overall a high impact decision because when I have seen clients moving from funnels to landing pages or vice versa, and it had a huge impact on their performance. I've seen a lot of people saying that funnels always outperform the landing pages, and it's not true at all. In certain cases, moving from landing pages to funnels backfires a lot. From my knowledge of CRO, doing it for 8 years, what I understand is correct friction is what will convert better. Let me give you an example. If somebody is looking for Google Ads course, they're already looking for it. They're ready to buy it. They're ready to learn. But let's say you have an ad and they click on it and you basically move them to a funnel where there is a video sales letter, when there is a webinar link page and there is free ebook, download ebook, and then they get an email to purchase the course. You just increase the friction and it will definitely drop your performance. But instead, if you had used a landing page with very clear outcome, testimonials and checkout, the performance would have been much better. Whether you have to go for a landing page or a funnel is not a decision overall for a business like a blanket decision. You also need to determine what is the source of this traffic. For example, when we promote our Done With You program, all the clients who come from our workshops, we send them directly to our landing page where they look at the details and book a call. However, when we run ads for this program, we send them to the funnels. We tested both in both scenarios, and what we saw is all the traffic coming from our ads, which is like the traffic who don't know us much, the conversion rates are better when we send them to a multi-step funnel. But people who already engage or registered with our webinar, consume our content, they have an idea about us. So a landing page actually works better for us. Now let's switch to the core rule before you understand if a funnel is needed or not. You need to understand one thing. Wherever you think that a core belief needs to be changed, in that cases, funnel is the only way to go. To make change to the core belief, you need persuasion, and persuasion depends on three things. Either it's an awareness gap, either it's a trust gap, or it's a price risk. Whenever there is a huge gap between where your audience is and where you want them to be, the more persuasion is needed. For example, if you are offering a $9 Google Ads audit and if you are offering $2,000 Google Ads consulting, basically in principle it's the same kind of industry and same kind of offer. However, there is a huge price gap. So for a $9 audit, you will go with the landing page, and for the $2,000 consulting, funnel is the only way to go. See, same marketing principle but different persuasion distance. If you want to buy a $19 template for something, would you sit in a 30 minutes webinar? No, of course, nobody would. So this leads us to finally our decision diagram, which will make it super clear. On x-axis, we have buyer readiness, how ready the user is, and our vertical axis is persuasion needed. Now we get 4 situations. Quadrant 1, high readiness, low persuasion. In this case, landing page is the best solution. For example, search traffic. Someone Googles best CRM for small business. They already want a CRM. Landing page works because it helps them quickly decide. And why do funnels fail here? Because there's extra steps feel unnecessary. And before we move ahead, I'm glad to inform you that State of Marketing report by HubSpot for 2026 is already out. And you can download it completely free from the link in the description below. This report was created after conducting a survey with more than 1,500 marketers globally, and it reveals a lot of interesting facts about the marketing industry in general and specifically about AI use across the industry. It uncovers and suggests how marketers are scaling with AI without losing their humanity, building brand trust in crowded markets, and driving growth. From this report, you'll clearly see how brands are moving from experimentation to real impact using AI. You will find some very interesting insights in the report. For example, top marketing channels based on ROI, top challenges faced by social media teams and how they are solving those. Top brand investments by ROI. There are dedicated sections for growth trends and future of marketing, which were the most interesting part for me. And my favorite part about this report is that for every section, there is a dedicated guide on how to apply these insights to your marketing strategy using the Loop marketing framework. And this free report is created by HubSpot Media, who's also sponsoring this video. So back to our video. Another example, our Done With You product. The people who already consumed our workshop, which is exactly based on this framework, we don't need to send them to a funnel. A landing page is enough if we are doing a retargeting campaign for them because they trust us already, and funnels will just repeat the information which they have already accepted. So in this case, landing page is the best solution because landing pages capture certainty, and that's the only thing we need to know about those audience. Now let's talk about the second quadrant, which is low readiness and high persuasion. Now in this case, the users are not very ready to buy already, and there's a high persuasion needed for them. In this case, you definitely need a full funnel. For example, let's talk about the same Done With You consulting offer we have, but for cold audiences where we are advertising and they come to know about our business for the first time. And it would make sense because those buyers don't yet understand what makes this offer different, what makes this consulting type different, and why does this work, and why should they trust us? A funnel will work because we could just answer their doubts one step at a time. Once they land on the first step of funnel, we could just educate them, then provide them authority, then proof, and then the qualification. And in this case, the landing page is not enough to basically close these three gaps we talked about. And now let's talk about the third quadrant, which is low readiness and low persuasion. These are the audiences which are not very ready to buy, but at the same time, you need very low persuasion to make them buy. So for example, we were recently working with a tool which connects with your YouTube, and you basically, if you're a YouTube channel owner or manager, you get to see a lot of information about your competitors, etc. And it's like $7 per month. And for that, you don't want to use funnel. This leads us to our fourth quadrant, which is high readiness and high persuasion. People are ready to buy, but at the same time, they need a lot of persuasion to buy. In this case, there's no clear-cut answer. You can use a landing page or a short funnel, but not a very lengthy funnel. The length of the funnel, the steps of the funnel matter a lot as well. Now, for example, one of our clients sells Italian courses. In that case, we have seen a good lengthy landing page or a short funnel, both work for them. I place them in high persuasion because their courses generally are $1,000 and above. See, buyer wants the skill but asks, is it worth it? Will it work for me? Now in this case, a lot of testimonials are needed, and which you can definitely do on good lengthy landing page. And if it's a short funnel as well, that will work as well, as far as you have a nice video sales letter, you explain about yourself, and then you explain about the testimonials, etc., in the same flow. Now what we have seen is, in terms of when you create a very lengthy funnel for them, feels manipulative, and we have seen that backfires as well. So there is always a sweet spot. Now the lesson here is, funnels solve uncertainty and landing pages capture certainty. If you understand this line, you will be able to answer in any case whether you should go with a funnel or a landing page. So what did we learn from these examples? Cheap ebook landing page, search traffic landing page, retargeting landing page, mid-ticket course long landing page, consulting funnel, new category funnel. So if there is something I want you to learn, it is this. Before asking whether we should go with funnel or landing page, ask yourself, what belief does our ideal customer still need before buying? Because marketing is not just pushing people through the funnels. It's removing the uncertainty of your audience and at the pace which they want. And once you understand that, the right choice becomes very obvious. That's all for this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.